Okay, so I see we've got a lot of familiar faces in the audience already. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Let's make sure to tweet out the Twitter Spaces, guys.
It should is it not tweeted out? I'm
just
looking
tweet
at the
it
Twitter.
out, like, yeah, just retweet it. I mean, you know, everybody can tweet out themselves as well. Hello, people on YouTube. How's things, Jen?
They're good. I'm just taking a look. Ben just sent over a document. Bitmart just gave us the next update on their list to vote campaign. So I'm just taking a quick glance over that, and then we'll get that tweeted out. It's pretty exciting that we now have all the information we need. So it looks like, let's see, they're saying voters must have Bitmart accounts and hold assets on Bitmart during the voting period. And you need to hold no less than 50 USDT to be eligible for your valid vote. Each participant can only vote once, and then they give us a form that we can vote through. So the form link is broken. Let me let the Bitmart team know.
Yeah. Okay, guys, if you see we got some usual faces. Hey, Peter, we got Black Fib there too. We got Matt, Luke, people on YouTube as well tuning in. Hello to all of you guys. If you have any questions on YouTube, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll read them out and we'll go through them as the spaces goes forward. This is your opportunity to let myself or Jen know any questions that you may have regarding EverRise V3 and just general talk for the weeks ahead. Okay, Jen.
All right, shall we?
We should, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of updates, I actually don't think I have any updates apart from the ones that I gave on Friday of last week. We're still working hard on EverRise V3. We have a couple of exciting campaigns coming up. This Bitmart listing campaign is one of them. So the team, we're going to review the details before we send that information out into the wild and just make sure that we're completely aligned with Bitmart on what exactly we need to do. We did have the Chainlink AMA go live today. It was so funny. I was on Twitter in the past 2 days, and I kept seeing like tweets pop up in my notifications being like, what's being announced on March 15th? Like, oh, is there some surprise coming? And I'm like, I think the only time I've mentioned March 15th was in direct regards to the Chainlink AMA. So that is now live and out into the world, which is really exciting. Now they're officially EverRise ambassadors. So we have Your Pop, Zach, Austin Hilton, and Adam Shelton. So we'll be throwing out a tweet later today. We do have a new person joining the pilot phase. So Jake Gagain will be piloting the ambassador program with us for the next 30 days. And if we think it's a good working relationship and we see the synergy, he'll continue on as an EverRise ambassador along with our other ambassadors. So that's pretty exciting. And then the other thing I did want to mention at the top of this spaces in particular was the Avalanche and Dora Hacks hackathon. Guys, it's so funny. When I mentioned this on Friday, I thought we were in a top position because I had checked like a day or two before and we were still looking really good. We've lost a little bit of steam and a little bit of momentum, but I do know we have the community to get back up into the leaderboard. So I really just want to encourage all of you to please take a look at voting for us for the quadratic funding grant. I think we're around 8th or 9th place. We went from being in the top 3 to 8 or 9, and it's because other projects are starting to get their communities really engaged. So I want to make sure that we're continuing to stay engaged. And if you haven't voted yet, please vote. And yeah, I think in terms of updates, that's it from a high level from my perspective for today.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak like in terms of like from a team point of view, like everyone's like at like full speed right now, working on all different aspects of V3, making sure that we're kind of working to the same timeline as the auditing company that we got looking at the contract. So really, it's been crazy, hasn't it, Jen, with the amount of activity in the team over the last few weeks. Expect there to be a lot of information coming out soon. We've also got the DeFi 101 series continuing, haven't we? I think later on this week, that'll be continuing too. We often get asked about, we need more content so we can learn about DeFi or help teach others about DeFi. So this is a commitment that we're making to provide people that are new to the space with a lot of information and tools to keep themselves safe and educated. So should we look about getting some people up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Please feel free to raise your hands, everybody. If you want to come up, we'll get you up one at a time. You can ask your questions for Jen or for myself. Let's quickly look on YouTube. When does the unstaking button become available? It says hyper RAM in the YouTube. So Jen, do you want to just answer that one?
Did you just say when does the unstaking button become available?
I know. Yeah.
So, well, the good news is when we release EverRise V3, our staking platform will be back up in full force. So at that point in time, you will be able to unstake your tokens if that's what you wish to do. But you'll also be able to do a whole plethora of things like transfer your staking NFTs, bridging them, selling them, creating more stakes. So whatever you want to do, when EverRise V3 comes out, you'll be able to access all of that.
There's a lot of things you can do with V3 with staking, isn't there, Jen?
Yeah, it's funny, in our marketing group, we're going back and forth on some copy documents with regards to all of the staking features. And yeah, there's quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. I finished the first draft of writing a lot of that stuff yesterday, and my brain was a little it was just blown afterwards, and I was a little brain dead, comprehending all of the features and exactly how they're going to work. So we're making sure that we're taking the time to put that in a format that's easily digestible, because we're team members and we're on the back end and we need to make sure things work with the UI UX, and we all need to have a really good understanding of how the staking platform works. We get into the very technical nitty-gritty detail. Yesterday, I think we had a 9-hour call going over all of the staking features and benefits and wrapping on some of the features and seeing if we wanted to add any more. I was only in that call for about 2 or 3 hours, but it's definitely, there's a lot coming, so get excited.
Yeah, I saw you in that call, and I mean there is a lot that's being discussed when it comes to V3, and I can say from my point of view that I don't even think I'm fully up to speed with everything that's happening with the staking NFTs. So I need to sit down and learn from Jen and everyone else as well, because it is quite a complete system, which allows you to do a lot of things. You don't have to do everything that's available, but it's certainly, I mentioned last week about flexibility, about having the flexibility to do what you want with your stakes, and certainly is a very flexible platform indeed. I brought up Sunshine for Whiskey. I'd seen him connecting now. I'm not sure if he's there, Jen.
I'm not seeing. I think Twitter Spaces is rugging me a little bit. I do see a request from Silver Khan. Let me see if I can bring him up.
I don't even see that person, so there you go. Bring him
up. Do you see him connected? Hey, Silver.
Hey.
Is it quiet on your side, Jason?
It's quiet on my side as well. Yeah. I got 2 requests. Okay. I got 2 requests at the moment. We've got Sunshine again. I'm going to try and bring you back up. Hopefully you'll be able to speak. And we've got Joey as well that's also asked to speak. Night Riser said in the chat, "What's with Doge?" Jen, in the YouTube. The tweet
what's with Doge?
Well, the tweet that TJ put out earlier on today.
Okay. As you guys know, for EverSwap, we did integrate stablecoins, peg tokens, and non-tokenomic tokens. Dogecoin happens to be one of them. I believe it's on the BNB chain. So that's what that is. You can now swap Doge for Rise, Rise for Doge. You can do basically any token or coin that is on the same chain, including Rise, you can now swap for each other, which is pretty cool.
There we go. Sunshine for Whiskey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. I was just going to ask, it seemed like y'all said at one point, maybe last week, that if we had our EverRise staked already, that when it went to V3, that we wouldn't have to do nothing, it would stay staked. Is that correct?
Correct. It would mirror your exact stake before the exploit. So, and it will also be in process. So let's say you were like 1 month into a 4-month stake. It's been about a month since the exploit. So you'll now be 2 months into your 4-month stake.
Okay, thanks. Because I've got a pile of EverRise. I've had it since pre-sale, and we staked it as soon as that staking came out, and that's where I want it to stay.
Yeah,
that's where it will stay, which is awesome. Good to hear.
The easiest way of thinking about it is that V3 is just going to be a copy. It's going to be all copied over into V3. So everybody's staking contract right now will just transform into a staking NFT. So very easy to kind of just move from one version to the next without having to go through any migration process for the staking. Thank you for your question, Sunshine. I see we've got Joey up here as well. Hey, Joey.
GM. Yeah, I saw that you're going to integrate the NFTs into governance and for EverOwn. Is that something you're also going to be offering other projects?
We haven't determined if we'll be offering it for other projects, but we do know it's something that we want to do for EverRise. If other projects start to express that that's a point of interest, then we'll look at it. It's kind of like even with our staking platform, even when we were on B2, everyone was like, oh, are you making your staking platform available for other projects? And it was just like there was no definitive answer. It really just depended on whether projects are actually interested in leveraging or using our staking protocol. But given what we're doing with V3, I don't really foresee a world in which we whitelist out how our staking works. But we could look at, like, I know we do have plans to make EverOwn into a more turnkey DAO within this year by adding some features. So I think if projects come and say, hey, we only want to give, governance votes to folks who are staking, like that's something that we'd be happy to look at and work with them on.
Yeah, because I think it's an ingenious way to really sell it as a way to incentivize staking within a platform, as well as offer NFT contracts that actually interact with the individual project, which everybody wants right now for marketing. Well, maybe 3 months ago, but still existing.
Yeah, it's definite. I think, and I also just think I think maybe Peter might be able to speak to this more, but giving governance to folks who are actually staking might be a little bit more aligned with the regulations as well in the long term. But again, no one knows exactly where regulations are going. So, it's there. We're going to play with it and explore it. And it's nice that majority of our holders are staked. So majority of our holders will have governance votes on V3.
Thank you, Joey, for the question. I got a question on YouTube. How do I contact EverRise? Is there an email I can use? How do I find it? Well, if you're a project, Jen, what's the best email for them?
For projects, it's going to be ecosystem@everrise.com. If you are looking for marketing, that can be marketing@everrise.com. And then our general inbound email is hello@everrise.com. And we do have systems in place where, if you do send an email to any one of those 3 emails, it does get tracked, it does get looked at, or we try to look at it. Sometimes we have hundreds of emails flooding us, but, we have a system internally in which everything gets ticketed. Correct.
Yeah.
I see we have 7 requested, so I'll bring him up. I don't know if you see him, Jason.
I do not.
What? There's like something crazy going on with technology today.
Yeah, Spaces is just they need a version 2 of Spaces. That's what they need.
You need to migrate over, upgrade their protocol. Hey, 7, how's it going?
Hey there, how are you guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, okay. So, I guess 2 things I wanted to touch on. One is, I know you guys mentioned that you guys want investors that are going to hold EverRise. You guys aren't really looking for the people that want to make a quick buck. Is that correct?
Ultimately, we can't. We can always say, those are the types of investors that we want and that we're going after. But ultimately, if you're investing in EverRise, we look at that as you see our ecosystem and you see the vision and you see the utility that we bring into the space. You can be an investor that wants to make a quick buck and you can invest in EverRise, but it's one of those things that if you do your due diligence and you do your research, you'll see that this isn't just a project that's going to pump in 3 months and then be done. You know what I mean? So it's I would say we are looking for investors that are willing to be educated and who see the value of what we're bringing into the space. And if they want to stick with us and be here for the long ride, because EverRise is building for the long term, and we're here for longevity, then stay along with us for the ride. If you want to sell, that's all good. It's you have freedom in the market to do what you want.
Because I see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to kind of tag along to the back of that. I mean, personally, I see EverRise as something that can appeal to a whole different array of a type, of people in crypto, investors. Some that be maybe looking for shorter price fluctuations, take advantage of arbitrage across the 5 chains, to people that want to stake their tokens for a period of up to 12 months or beyond. I mean, there's the beautiful thing is that you can trade and you can take advantage of the native coin fluctuations. So absolutely, I think that we would prefer people to enjoy the ecosystem and stay with the project and follow the project and learn from the project as we move forward in this space. But at the end of the day, I think there's, like I said, I think it's a bit of everything for all types of investors here. And
the reason I mentioned that is because I do hear it. I'm not always in these AMAs, but I think we need a mix of everything or everybody, like the short term, not the short term. I guess the people that are going to put money in the market, make the charts, create bottom floors, create higher highs, lower lows, and but I just kind of keep hearing the long-term investors. And the reason I say this is because when I came into crypto, I didn't know much about it. I heard of Bitcoin, but I came when Doge was popping off on Instagram stories and stuff like that. Before it had his, when it was 0.00 something cents. So that's I came in to the crypto space because of Doge, because somebody posted on Instagram through their stories, and I was like, what is this? So I started digging deeper, and then I started, investing in crypto after that. So
Yeah.
that brings my next point, which is how likely is EverRise to start creating content on Instagram, not just a post like, hey, EverRise is doing this, like an actual video where it captures even audience that doesn't know about crypto. Because if we just aim for pure investors in the crypto space, we're kind of limiting ourselves to, attracting more people and actually like the potential like us. And I'm one of the big holders in EverRise. So if I would have never came in through Doge, I mean, I don't even know if I would have been one of the big holders in EverRise.
Yeah. So
So
I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
so I think what you're saying is super interesting. And I'm actually, it's funny because we are working on not only Instagram content, but TikTok content as well as YouTube
Right.
content. We have a really nice long format video that's sitting with a media partner of ours that we're getting ready to launch an educational series with. So I have about 9 more episodes for that I'm filming, and we're actually going to strip some of the content from those videos and repurpose them for not only Instagram but also TikTok as well as LinkedIn to redirect to the YouTube video. And then we're actually going to start making like reel type content, like for
Right.
Instagram
Okay.
reels and TikTok reels that's like specifically optimized for that. It's just, this stuff takes time. We're a pretty small team. A lot of the content that you see when it comes to videos is either coming from Jason or myself. And so when we're strapped between the two of us, we've built the systems to get the content out, and now we're optimizing that system so that way anytime we do content, there's multiple pieces of content that can come from it. So I totally hear you. I actually agree. And it's funny, I think there's a really large crypto following on Instagram. I know like a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's crypto Twitter or Reddit, but like looking at our Instagram numbers, like on a general post, we get just as much engagement, if not more engagement than some of our tweets that go out. And
Right.
with a fraction of the followers. So that's something that I definitely want to continue to build on, especially while, the market conditions are the way they are. I think it's pretty likely that we're in a bear market, and everything that we're seeing, it's just constantly fluctuating up and down, and that's totally fine. But like for now, when it comes to marketing, this is the time for us to build on what we can do organically. It doesn't necessarily make sense for me to go and do like $100,000 paid media campaign when I saw the click-through rates from our previous ad campaigns. And especially given this market, it's like I imagine that engagement is just going to be even lower, So right now, the big focus for us is EverRise V3 and building out that organic content to reach more eyeballs. I really want EverRise to be that first point of contact for people in DeFi. So
yeah, I mean, I think organic.
Go
ahead.
Just to follow up, because obviously you're saying about the type of investors as well. It's like, depending on where we are in the cycle, I see, not only sentiment, but the psychological shift between, short-term and long-term strategies. And I think that, from what I've seen and who I've spoke to, I mean, I've spoke to a lot of people in the Rise community that started off just coming into Rise because they wanted to make a quick flip or just come in and try and make some money and go again. But when they came in and discovered about the team and they discovered about the project, they went through the white paper, they went through the website, they actually were like, hang on a minute, this is something that I'm interested in staying in. And, that again comes down to self-education and also the content that's been released. So again, I agree with Jen, is that it's really, really important.
It's just some people don't even know about the white paper that are just coming in, so like creating content through like the story reels that say, hey, do you guys know what, a white paper is in crypto, and then start like an interesting video, I think that'll be like, huh? White paper, crypto, and then obviously the EverRise is behind it, so that'll engage people in even the whole crypto space, because obviously I think that's where the world is heading. But I think just content like that, because I haven't seen any, so that's why I'm bringing it up now. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Jen, she said those are in the works, but um, I just wanted to mention that because I mean, it, like I said, it reached me, and I'm not just an investor in EverRise, other projects, but it took for me to start looking into it because not everybody that goes inside of a project just says, okay, let me see a white paper, or they don't even, like I said, they don't even know what a white paper is. So EverRise getting behind that and getting that organic reach through their Instagram reels, because you guys do a great job at AMAs and talking and explaining things to the community. So even just a small video every day or something like that. I think
We're hoping to do long format content videos once a week with at least 3 or 4 videos on supporting platforms every week. In order for me to do that and be able to execute on it in a regular cadence, I have to build up a content backlog. So that's what we've been doing, if that makes sense. Otherwise, because it's not humanly possible
right.
for me to make all of that in addition to sitting in on all of the meetings, partner negotiations, strategic partnership conversations, and doing AMAs like this. Like, we just, it's like one of those things where it's like, it's okay. Like, right now, we've been building the content library. We'll continue to build that content library, probably at least through the rest of this month, potentially until even V3 comes out. I am hoping to get the educational series up and running with our media partners before then. But
Okay.
all the content that you're talking about, you're spot on. Like, those are the trends that we're looking at internally as well. And believe me when I say it's content that we definitely will be executing on.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that because I haven't been really had the time to hop on every AMA, but when I do, I don't really hear that being mentioned. So I just kind of wanted to get you guys' take on it. And you guys are obviously answering my question now, so I look forward to listening, hearing and seeing the content and sharing it. That's something I'm really gonna, start doing if you guys, start, with the reels and all that
That's
content.
that's what it's about. I mean, the community being able to share these videos and content that we tweet out and then post on Instagram, moving forward, it's only going to help. It's only going to help. So we rely on the community's support in that. So absolutely grateful for you to do that.
Cool. That's good to hear. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
No
Have
problem.
a good one.
You too.
Trying to get new investors in or just more people on board when the
in terms of capturing it, assembling it. But what takes a lot of time is like once we're in the post-production world, if you saw the EverRise V3 like announcement video, getting all those motion graphics in there, adding in the information. So it wasn't just like someone talking directly to camera all the time. Like Jason and I have figured out a way to make that format pretty templated and share working files. So I think really for us, it's going to be one, expanding the content team. Because if we expand the content team, then we have the bandwidth and capacity to make more content more quickly. So I think like within a year, I would hope that we could add at least 1 or 2 more video editors or designers within the team in that respect.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's great. Where would you? This is what question that's been sitting on my mind. Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years' time?
Like EverRise as a whole in 5 years' time?
You and EverRise, I'd say, because I'd like to say, like in the past, I mean, I've been doing not EverRise, I've been doing crypto. I mean, I started at the beginning of 2021. It was Coinbase, a little advert, and it was like Stellar. Stellar was like the first ever thing I invested in. I saw it go from like, I think I put like £30 in, or if you want to put like $35 in, if you want to put it that way, and it went up to like $50. And from that, my life changed. I've non-stop done crypto since. So what I've seen about not companies ideally, but cryptos, like you'll get these people talking such as like directors of marketing, but none of them sound as transparent, as fresh, as well mature enough to kind of come out the way you do about stuff. So that's why I'd also like to say, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years' time?
Well, I hope in 5 years I'm still with EverRise. Honestly, like I tell this to Suresh pretty often, and it's funny. This is like a conversation that happens within staff. But like I had retainer clients. I was working on a lot of international productions and doing brand content for a lot of various companies. Like if you look at my portfolio, I do have Google, Samsung, and all these big names on there. And I love that work. I really do. That's the world in which I came from. And ever since I was a little kid, I just wanted to make stuff. And I am really fortunate that I was able to do that in the capacity that I did for the past several years. But I was finally like settling down with the company and starting to work with them more. And I kind of just realized it was sucking my soul. And so to be able to actually take so much of what I've learned from working with agencies, various other marketing directors, a cause that I think can change the world. I think Web3 and crypto can change the world. Like, you know, that's just like my personal belief. As you said, like you saw it too with the investment that you made. And, you know, that to me is already fulfilling. So in 5 years, if I can still be with EverRise, like that is the hope and that's the dream. I think where we want to go as a company, you know, what we've been having a lot of internal conversations about lately is obviously we're building security infrastructure, and that's very, very needed in the space. And really for us right now at this stage, we have already started to build that infrastructure, but we're still working on gaining the adoption. So I kind of see, I like 5 years is interesting because it's still far away. And especially in the crypto world, it's kind of like you can kind of dream a little bit about where you want to be in 5 years. And I think in 5 years, we've always said like we're on more blockchains. We have mass adoption of our DApps, all of them. But like even those goals are pretty broad. But generally, I think the main goal is once EverRise gets adoption across the board of the ecosystem that we've created, then that's really when we're able to put the stake in the ground and say like EverRise is here to stay. And so I think one of the things that we're continuing to do, especially at the leadership level, is continue to dial in that conversation, continue to like make that vision into tangible goals. But anyways, that's like a super long tangent, but I hope that answers your question. I mean, we're here building solutions as we see them under this umbrella of security. But for me, it's kind of like, I really just want EverRise to be the first touch point for anyone who's interested in DeFi. And I think like building that along with the security focus right now is really well positioned, especially because, you know, if you have no coins or you never invested in crypto before, like crypto does seem like
Yeah, I'll finish myself up then. I'll let someone else take the spot. Since I'm leaving, I'll just say one thing. I'd just like to say, Jason, you're absolutely smashing it with the media. You're absolutely great on just every AMA. I like to tune in. I actually, funny enough, when you mentioned earlier about me not being in, I was just leaving work and I just saw the AMA started, so I quickly dashed home and obviously got straight onto it. But yeah, no, love the team, love everything that's going on. Look, absolutely so much for the future, what's got to come. Hakuna as well, love to hear what you say all the time. You're absolutely keeping the community motivated, just showing all the love out there. So yeah, I'd like to leave and peace out from England.
Thank you, Fossey, for your thoughts. That was fun back and forth, and thanks for listening to me rant for a couple of minutes there. Hey, Jason, you're back. Joey, I see you have your hand up. You just want to unmute your mic?
Yeah, thanks. So as like you're adding more coins to EverSwap, is there any thought to making the charting for arbitrage more focused on other coins?
Come to anything that's concrete and that I can say like, yeah, EverRise is officially doing this, but we have talked about like, what would it look like for us to build a platform where, you know, you can chart other coins, especially if they are on EverSwap, and like, what does the ultimate final version of EverSwap look like for us? So we're talking about it, but again, no concrete plans to execute on any of that yet.
Okay, so still like early.
Still early.
Yeah, the other question, I've mentioned it in a community space, is especially with what's happening with Andre leaving Phantom and how that has had an effect on everything really. With V3, I hope that you guys look at rebalancing the constants with Phantom. That way, if it basically stays where it's at, no harm done. It's more in line with everything else in the ecosystem. If it drops, then you guys can look at like delisting or pulling a contract. But if it gains, that's like a huge gain for EverRise in the future. So I hope that's something that's considered heavily.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've talked about it, and I think what we would ever do if a liquidity pool ever significantly dropped, because, you know, the protocol that it's tied to is dropping heavily, is we could always just turn off the bridge for that specific protocol and kind of isolate it until it either stabilizes or picks up traction again. So there is like some measures in place of like, if, you know, we wake up tomorrow and Phantom's at 50 cents and the liquidity pool is half gone, we would definitely close the bridge to make sure that, you know, folks weren't just dumping on everyone else.
Yeah, it's almost like good timing. Well, fortunate in an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I mean, we're keeping an eye on it pretty closely. So, but I appreciate you saying that. I think you're looking out for the right things, you know.
Hello.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Are you good? I saw you disappear from my computer screen for a second.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Hang on. I'll show you. For those watching on video, and for Jen, I'm going to show you a picture I took of my computer. It's just a moment ago. Look what I got welcomed.
Oh no. We love that. Screen of death. It's so funny, Jason. I was all with my old computer setup today. Like, my laptop no longer works in clamshell mode, so I now have to like reorganize my desk that I just assembled to like get my monitor There's something in the air. I'm convinced.
Yeah, definitely. If it's not Twitter Spaces, it's like the blue screen of death. Like I haven't had a blue screen of death for like 2 years, and then in the last like week, I've had like 3 or 4. It's crazy. I think I need to reinstall Windows or something. I don't know. Something's certainly not right. But anyway, I'm back, and I want to say thank you to the previous caller for the kind words as well and the support.
I
Go for it.
just brought up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this correctly. So feel free to correct my pronunciation. I think it's Sirkantha.
No, it's Srikant.
What? I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
Srikant.
Seikan. Is
Hello?
that right?
Yeah.
Seikan. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jason. I was just like, I still don't know if I got that.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
Hi, Jen. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
I think we've spoken before, haven't we?
Yeah. Always on time.
How can we help?
I can watch you at... No. It's all right. I'm watching you people on YouTube and listening on Twitter.
We love that. We love getting the views on YouTube and we love getting the tweets out. Like,
I
way to
also tweeted your
multitask.
pic.
Are you excited for V3?
Yes. I am always ready for V3.
Cool. There's going to be a lot of information to digest over the coming weeks. So
Yeah. I can listen to Jen all the time. Whenever I get time to watch the video in YouTube, I always listen to her. She explains very clearly about the EverRise.
yeah. Jen and Wasso have got a great ability to explain the project. Absolutely. Did you were you able to check out the Chainlink video that was posted?
Yeah. Yes. I already checked into EverSwipe to check it out.
Awesome.
I love
Thank you,
that.
Jason.
He's like,
I love watching you people on YouTube and listening to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming
sharing all the info.
Thank you.
Hi, Akuna.
Hey, Akuna. I see Akuna's there. We've got someone requesting here. Who's that? Monty Crypto's requested. Let's bring up Monty Crypto.
Hey, Monty, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. How about you guys?
Hey.
Doing good.
Fantastic. Hey, real quick, how soon before projects are coming on to EverSwap? I know you guys said was it the beginning of this week or next week or?
It's going to be during this week. Some projects want us to onboard them on specific days this week, but we have started to sign people up and we're ready to onboard them when they're ready.
And is that just a situation where a lot of these projects can have, for instance, on their website, a link directly to EverSwap? I mean,
Yeah.
will they be able to have their own branding and whatnot, and maybe just says powered by EverRise or something of that nature?
So they'll be able to embed the swap onto their website. It's still going to say EverSwap, and it will still say like powered by EverRise, but I believe they will be able to title the swap above that into however they want to title it for their project. But yes, even on the embeds, there is EverRise branding on it.
Awesome. And then my next question is, it would have been cool to see you guys in Dubai, but I know you were saying that you were going to be in Miami. Are you guys going to have an actual booth, like a whole setup? And are you guys looking as far as down the line into other conferences that'll be going on either later this year or into 2023 and beyond?
Yeah, so we're looking at a couple of other conferences this year. I think we're looking at permissionless as well as consensus. Those will be kind of like the two that would wrap out this quarter of this year. With regards to us actually having booths at these events, I don't think we're at that place yet. I think this is, us going to events is primarily to go to one network. We are already setting up meetings with some folks that we've been chatting with over the internet in person for Bitcoin Miami. So that's really exciting. My kind of whole position on having at an event like this is it's not really useful unless you're giving keynote or you have a massive presentation at that said event. Just because that's how you get eyes. Like, oh, Mark, oh yeah, I saw your program, and all of a sudden I see like an it makes a little bit more sense for them as opposed to just having a booth and then you're like trying to catch people as they're going along. But my take on events like this specifically, especially conferences, I've done a lot of conference circuits in my previous life, and honestly, the best way to go about is one, being really proactive, and two, getting as many meetings as you possibly can, making as many meetings at the conference, people to follow up with as you possibly can. So that's going to be the main focus for Bitcoin Miami.
Awesome. Thanks for answering that. I know you see, obviously, as the lead up to Dubai, obviously you see a lot of these different protocols, projects that have a lot of fancy, stuff going on. I'd love to see EverRise get to that point too, where where EverRise is definitely a keynote, and I do see that in the future of EverRise. But yeah, man, just looking forward to it.
Yeah, and listen, like it is definitely when the time is right and everything is in place, like we'll start looking at what does it look like for us to sponsor these events, or what does it look like for us to sponsor the closing parties of the event, so we can have like what I would call a quote unquote bigger paid marketing splash when we go to these events. But again, I'm just going to, I'm looking at market conditions and all of that stuff, and it just doesn't make sense right now for us to do. But there will be a point in time where it won't matter what the conditions are like, and it will make sense for us to do. We're just not there yet. We're still early.
Yep, everything in due time. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the question. I see King in here.
Hey, King.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jen. How you doing?
It's going good. How are you?
Loving
Not
that
too
profile
bad.
photo, man. Loving that profile photo. Rocking the EverRise merch.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I run our Facebook and Reddit community. If you guys haven't checked those out, make sure you do. Come on by. I had a few questions off Reddit, if you guys don't mind.
I'll go for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, maybe Twitter Space is giving me.
Oh, I think I just pulled them up because when I saw you in here, I'm all like, we're doing that. Ask questions on Reddit. So
Yep. Oh, here I got one here. We got user Q_MB, and he wants to know: is there any hint on the mysterious DApp?
I feel like we've given so many. So how about I do my best to cap the hints that we've given, and hopefully I don't drop any more hints that give it away while I do this. We did say that this DApp would be able to be utilized for NFT, among other things, and we would be looking to work with various NFT platforms with it. We did say, I don't know, that's the biggest hint. Jason, you dropped a hint the other day. What was that?
It's going to be far-reaching. It's going to be utilizing, it's good. I can see a large portion of the crypto community wanting to use it.
It will be the first DApp of its kind on several of the blockchains that we're on. Not all of them, but some of those other blockchains don't have a DApp like this. So we see it being really useful for that. And then last, I guess this will be the last hint. Anyone and everyone can use it.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really give any more hints, Jen. I mean, than that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Giving the game away, but it's like, yeah, it's very important, and I can see a lot of people utilizing it.
More than a lot. All right, so another question we got here. How many tokens do you think EverSwap will be able to swap by the year's end? Do you have a goal?
Yeah, so let me pull it up. I think I don't want to give this number wrong, but again, this is an internal goal. This is like literally internally for us, kind of like where we said, hey, this is what we like to see, and let's how close we get to it. I have the number in my head. I just want to make sure that I'm accurately speaking to it. Yep. So ideally, again, the goal internally is to have about 150 DeFi projects listed on EverSwap. You know, I think I kind of want to be really reserved with this number. I don't necessarily think anyone should take away from this AMA that it's like, oh, EverRise is going to have 150 projects on EverSwap. If we do, that's amazing. And that's like everything else also working on and pushing for. But, you know, I think one, EverSwap provides such a, I want to call it an advantage, and it's also, it helps protocols in a way that a lot of don't, and it's just a better way of swapping, and this ability to, one, alleviate sell pressure on your chart from your swap and liquefy function, two, to actually be able to change tokenomics. If you're finding that your tokenomics aren't working and you want to adjust some stuff, you can actually use EverSwap.
Well, you can do promotions as well, can't you, Jen? You know, with your community.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Yeah. And so you can like say like, oh, if you guys buy EverSwap this weekend, all taxes will be burned. Like you can have like the plug and play tokenomics that you turn on and off, which is really great. So there's like a ton of features that EverSwap offers, and we've seen a lot of interest from projects to leverage and utilize it. So we're very optimistic that we're on track to hit our goal. But again, it's an internal goal. And, you know, I think we can get there, but don't say like, that's exactly what's going to happen. We don't know how the market's going to play out. We just have to see.
Kind of sounds a little bit like swaponomics.
Yes, we are looking at inventing behind the scenes.
All right. And then one more. We have a question on. Now, I was about 20 minutes late to the AMA, so mind me if you already answered this. But we have one more question about the migration NFT. Now, I'm not sure if that's from V1 to V2, or they're asking if there's another round.
Well, I can say that the V1 to V2 migration NFTs will come when we launch V3. And then, I don't know, Jason, where did we land on doing NFTs from V2 to V3? I think it was like let's finish the NFTs and deploy the ones we have and go from there.
So we've done the migration NFTs from V1 to V2. We know that they're ready to go. The staking utility NFTs are pretty much done. They're just basically ready to be minted. Then we've got the reward, or the achievement NFTs, which are in the final stages of being kind of finalized. And I think that what we can do is that we can, you know, if we have the bandwidth and we've got the sort of time to do it, we could look at retrospectively rewarding people that migrated via EverMigrate. But essentially, there's no official announcement for V2 to V3 NFTs, but if I get asked to do it, by the team, and we have the bandwidth to do it. At the moment, it's pretty crazy. At the moment, Jen, I think we can agree on it. We've all got we're flat out. So in the future, we could always retrospectively award those.
Perfecto. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, guys, I think we are in our last minute of today's AMA. And before we sign off, just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. Again, Avalanche, Jora Hacks, Asia Hackathon. We need to get votes in for the quadratic funding grant. So please, 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 if you haven't looked at doing that, please look at doing that. And then number 2, get your Bitmart accounts ready. I got details. We'll be making some marketing materials around this and putting those out today. So you guys can kind of see what you need to do next to make sure you're good to vote for EverRise when voting opens on the 21st.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important. Like we try and go for those funding grants. I mean, those they're kind of like just allow us to drive innovation and keep us moving forward. And obviously they certainly give us brand awareness to the wider community as well. And with Bitmart, it's a great opportunity to get on another exchange. So I know a lot of you guys may already have a Bitmart account. Feel free to please get involved in that and help us get listed on another centralized exchange. So great points to prove. We'll obviously be tweeting out those that information in the near future as well, and in our telegrams and socials on Reddit, Discord. You'll be able to find out more information about that. But great for bringing it up, Jen.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday and a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys all on Friday for the weekly wrap-ups. And if you're around throughout the week and you want to talk EverRise, do have the daily Twitter spaces open with Akuna hosting. So great chatting, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Yeah.